Shelby.
And I'm Stephanie. Welcome to our channel, Sugar High Score. Today we have two exciting things to tell you about.
Number one, I got my new braces. They are currently blue and purple, but they don't hurt very bad because I've been drinking lots of milkshakes to help them feel better.
The second thing is that for this week's game night, we have decided to play Clank, made by Renegade Games.
But first, we need to make a sweet treat to eat while we play.
I've gotten multiple requests to turn this velvet dragon embroidered bag into a cake.
Let's make it really big and even add Clank on the top.
We've never made a cake in this shape before, so it should be a lot of fun. Let's get into the kitchen, shall we?
Beat you there!
That was a lot of Clank.
I'm okay.
Let's begin. In the game, you put Clank into the velvet bag, so we wanted our cake to have Clank too.
We baked the cakes in blue, yellow, red, and green, and cut out a bunch of squares to resemble the Clank.
It's a rainbow of Clank.
Next, we lined our pan with parchment paper and put a thin layer of cake batter into our pan. Then, we lined up the colored squares into rows.
We were pretty nervous if doing this would actually make it look like Clank in the cake. Ta-da!
We then added more cake batter to cover the Clank, and then we baked it.
We then repeated this process so that we would have 3 12-inch cakes.
Next, we trimmed off the top of the cakes and cut them in half.
Now I'm filling the cake. I really love buttercream.
Now I'm adding another layer of buttercream. Next, we carved the cake to give it some shape.
Then we added plastic straws as dowels.
Next, I carved it into the shape of the velvet bag using a large serrated knife.
It needs more buttercream. Did I mention I love buttercream?
We then smoothed it out one more time and put it in the refrigerator to chill.
Time for a dance break.
While the cake was chilling, we began working on the details.
We started by making our cake pop filling for our chocolate cubes that will go on top of the cake. Then we filled our molds with a little melted chocolate and then added a cube of filling and added more chocolate to fill each cube.
We then gave it a good shake to get out any air bubbles.
Next, we began the embroidered dragon.
We printed out the dragon and traced a copy onto a piece of fondant.
We then cut it out and allowed it to dry.
Next, we gave it an embroidered look by piping small lines with royal icing.
We used the same tracing technique to make the dragon cookie pawn and fill it with royal icing. I call eating this.
We rolled out the fondant and placed it onto the cake.
I smoothed it out with this cool fondant smoothing tool.
After the smoothing, we added more details.
Yes, velvet bags need wrinkles, and I got to use another cool fondant tool. We then repeated the process on the other side of the cake.
And then my partner had to go to school. Why can't we just make cakes all day long?
Mom, I have to learn stuff. It's cool.
Next, I covered the top with fondant and began working on the squinched up part of the velvet bag. I'm not sure what that's called. I then gave it a dusting of edible shimmer dust to give it a little shine.
She then created the rope using a clay gun extruder, one of my favorite tools.
I then glued the fondant ropes to the cake using toothpicks and piping gel.
And then she wrapped the ropes around each other to look like a knot, and then glued them with piping gel and toothpicks again.
Next came the scary part, moving the cake onto the cake board. Now for more details, this is the rage track.
And she's scratching it up a little bit, just like it looks in the game.
Yay, Shelby's home finally.
I'm back and ready to get back to work.
Next, I inserted a sharpened dowel into the cake and we added more fun details.
My mom said if I broke the embroidered dragon, I would be fired from the YouTube channel. And then she broke it. Mom, you're fired.
Okay, you're the boss now. What do we do next?
We added our chocolate cake pop cubes to the top of the cake. We glued them down with royal icing, layering them on top of each other. Woo, we're all finished. It's time for some more dancing.
We are so excited for game night tomorrow night because we get to eat this entire cake all by ourselves. We're going to start out with the chocolate cubes that are filled with cake pop filling.
And then we are going to eat the entire cake And I am going to eat this little cookie pond because I called it.
So if you'd like to see the game in action, then keep on watching.
Clank is a deck building game for 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up.
I am an 11-year-old girl and I picked up this game faster than my mom. This game takes about an hour to play.
In the game, you become thieves that sneak down into the dragon's lair. You then try to collect the best loot and then get out alive.
Be careful not to make any noise as you might wake up the dragon.
Whoever has the most points at the end of the game is the winner.
And that was me, by the way.
I loved making this cake and learning how to play Clank.
I did too. The cake looked great. It looked exactly like the real bag.
We hope you guys enjoyed it too.
Also, we would love to hear from you. So if you have any ideas or suggestions for us, please let us know down in the comments.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
I hope to see you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.